Yo, 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 yo! Welcome to the Good Facts podcast series, powered by DGF Agency and hosted by me, myself, and I, Duarte Figueira, also known as Duda. The Good Facts is all about the facts that I really care for, straight from me to you. Everything that I care about: music, media, food, sports, video games, and whatever else comes out of my mind during the week. So yeah, everybody, welcome to the third episode of the Good Facts podcast series. But yeah, I gotta recap first on the second episode. Was really awesome. A lot of feedback on it, a lot of plays on it. The first part already reached 400 plays, I think. The second part is on 350. But yeah, it was really awesome to talk about Drake, the views, his interview with Zane Lowe from Beats One Radio. Also, it was kind of funny because I created a little bit of controversy with my homie Ug Moita, also known as DJ Ari. Thank you for sharing, bro. And also, thank you Tiago Campos, also known as Campos from Nubai Sound, for sharing. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But the most fun part for me, really and truly, was the interview with Richie, talking with him about the single "Do You Know Wrong," and particularly talking with him on WhatsApp. Was pretty legit and pretty awesome. Again, Richie, thank you very much for everything and for sharing. And also, I wanna remember you guys to subscribe and follow and press the art button on SoundCloud. Don't forget. And yeah, let's step on episode 3. As some of you guys have noticed already, I'm a big Skepta fan. I was really excited about this episode and I did a lot of research on him. But yeah, I'm going to start by talking a little bit how I got introduced to him, and then I'm going to talk about KONNICHIWA. So I have been listening to Skepta since Richie showed him to me back in 2010. He played me a couple of ciphers that were going on in the UK at the time. A bunch of rappers just going through these electronic, fast-paced beats. And at the time, I didn't even know it was called grime. He just sent me the link. He was like, "Yo, bro, just check this." And I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty cool." And I saw the name Skepta and a couple other names at the time, and I was like, "Yeah, this is cool." But a year or half a year passed, and Richie came up to me again, like, "Yo, bro, remember that thing that I sent you? That artist called Skepta just brought this new mixtape. They just dropped this new mixtape called Community Payback with DJ Ukid, which is also DJ for D12 and Eminem, and is nowadays Waka Flocka's DJ." And I was really like, "Yo, this is crazy." I just got hooked to it. I felt like it was a street kind of album. Was really facing the ends, was really focused on the ends, as they say in the UK. And I started listening to it every day. I had it on a CD on my first car. I was listening to it every day. At the time, I even remember coming up to my selector on Firebox Sound and telling me, "Yo, crap on, we need to play this, bro. We need to play this guy, this Skepta guy." Of course, the thing didn't kind of fit with our sets at the time, so we didn't play him. But yeah, but things went on. I kept listening to him, and I started researching a little bit more about him, and that's when I found doing it again, an album that he even released before Community Payback, and I got hooked to it too. Like songs like Amnesia and Big with Chipmunk and Mike Lowry. That is also on Community Payback. And also the most controversial song and music video of 2011 in the UK for sure, All Over the House. If you know the song, and if you can imagine from the title of the song, All Over the House, you can understand a little bit what's going on and what is he picturing. And he made it really clear with the music video. For all of my listeners that are over 18, if there's a reason for me to say this, Go check it. Go check it. It's on the main websites on the web that normally have that type of content. Go check it. It's literally what the song talks about. It's but on video. It's an actual porn music video, which was a perfect publicity stunt at the time. He created a lot of controversy. His name was all over the news. Everybody was talking about him, and that's what matters. He even says on one of his records, like one of his bars, like, you guys, the media took more attention to my all over the house video than my collaboration with P Diddy. And it was a fact. Like, people buy controversy, and Skepta made it happen. But yeah, enough on how much I know about Skepta and like how I think he's a case study in a sense. I gotta say, those two records at the time, Doing It Again and Community Payback, were what I was digging. Like, I was listening to that a lot, and I started digging the culture a little bit more, the grime scene culture, the same way that I did with reggae and dancehall back in 2006. But later in 2012, like a year after, Skepta dropped Blacklisted, and that was crazy. Because during that year that passed, Skepta just did a couple of collabs and stuff. It was just doing collaborations and featurings and promoting and doing tours. So when Blacklisted dropped, it came like out of the blue, just like, yo, what is this? And I now realize it came after Skepta dropped this video on YouTube that you guys need to go check if you want to know a little bit more about Skepta, called Underdog Psychosis. Even though I don't really like to promote this because it is what it is, it made him produce this thing and get this album done. This particular mixtape, as Skepta calls it, was the first ever thing that Skepta produced on his home studio, because until then he didn't have like his own studio. He first bought it to take it on the road, to use it on the road, but then when he got back to London, he just put everything back in at his house. And this was the first thing that the first compilation of songs that he put together with that studio. But yeah, Blacklisted is really and truly one of my favorite Skepta records of all time. It's a short and strong album. Like, for me, it's really deep, really deep. If you understand the lyrics and you know where this artist is coming from, you feel the pain and the meaning behind every word and every rhyme on that track, on that album. His vibes, like the way that he was feeling, was really intense at the time. Like, you can feel that on the lyrics. The man even sings on that record. Like, and he knows, like, doesn't matter if I'm singing good or not. It's all about the feeling, and that's what he was feeling, and that's what he recorded, and that's what he shared to us. And it sounded like he was on a cave, in a sense. Like, he was trying to shout out of it, like, as like at the same time a light was flashing on his face, because people were demanding music from him because at the time he was already famous in the UK. But I don't know. It's really what I hear when I listen to this compilation. I don't know what to call it. I'm gonna be calling it compilation, mixtape, album. I feel it's an album because it's strong as an album, even though it has not that amount of tracks. I don't remember if it's like 7 or 10, but it's short. But yeah, I felt like Skepta was trapped, like, and he just wanted to talk on his mind and say whatever he wanted to say, and this was the compilation for that, and it was perfect. He even said that he wasn't forced to do this album. This was kind of like an organic thing that he wanted to do. But also a really important thing is that this compilation wasn't forced on me, Duarte. I just found it, and I was digging the artist, and at the time it really matched my state of mind and the way that I was feeling, in a sense. So I kind of relate a lot with the album. So I just had it in my car all the time. I was always listening to it. It's still my go-to record when I have to drive late night. Decent community payback for sure. Everything is so clear and so fun to listen to and to understand. Every metaphor and play of words is crazy, the thing made me mesmerize his style and respect him so much. And since then, those three records, Doing It Again, Community Payback, and Blacklisted, have been my reference for grime music for real. Let's add Integrity by JME, which is Skepta's brother. But they have been a reference for me in grime music and Skepta and grime music and Skepta, but mainly Community Payback and Blacklisted. I can say that. Those two are just like some of my two favorite albums ever. I can say that. The funny part is that if you ask Skepta about these two projects, you would say that they were just mixtapes and they were just like songs, you know what I mean? And like mixtapes are just adjust, you know what I mean? Like it's the fact that he might say it's just a mixtape, it makes you think about the word just. And I think it's a mixtape. Mixtapes can even be more genuine than albums, because you create something with no reason for it, and they become so pure on itself, like a painting or something like that. So, but yeah, enough on Skepta's past and how I got introduced to him. Otherwise, I wouldn't stop talking, because for the past 2 weeks after the album dropped, I've been researching so much about him, more than I did before. And like I went to back in 2002 on stuff. I found like footage of him freestyling on the streets, on the ends, and in performance, and crazy interviews, and a side of him that I never knew. I got to know his in first and last name too. I don't know. I even feel that I know more about this guy than I know about some family members and friends. It's crazy. It's really a lot of information from the past 2 weeks, like hours and interviews and conferences and concerts and backstage footage, whatever. But yeah, let's stop on talking about Skepta's past. Let's now talk about the future and the present. Konnichiwa. Hello to you too, Skepta. So, after Blacklisted in 2012, Skepta didn't drop any singles or albums on his name. He only did a couple collaborations and kept producing for other grime artists like his brother JME, the rest of the Boy Better Know group, which is Shorty, Jammer, Frisco, and also for Novelist, Devlin, Chipmunk, and a bunch of them. But in June 2014, Skepta drops That's Not Me. That's Not Me, Act Like a Waste Man. Yeah. Featuring with his brother Jamie, and announces it as the first single for his upcoming album, Konnichiwa. He also gives the name to the album at the time. But yeah, I will talk a little bit more about this song when the song comes on the track list. Next, in April 2015, Skepta dropped Shutdown, and the world just shaked. And the world just shut down, for real. There's so much talk about this song. I don't know. Like I'll talk about it when we get to track 9. Then the next single came out on February 2016, named Ladies It Squad, with DWE, a grime artist from the UK, and ASAP Nast from the ASAP Mob. Then, as a gift for those who had pre-ordered the album, Skepta releases Man. Also, like inside of brackets, gang, because he says a lot of gang, like man, the gang. Like it starts the wording of the chorus with man and ends with gang. But yeah, on April 4th, he dropped that 2 weeks before the album dropped, and at the time, that was the time that he announced the date in April. He announced that he was going to release the album on May 6th, which meant a week after Drake's album. When talking about the album, Skepta said that this was the album that him and his man should listen on the whip. Like that's the type of album that he wanted to put together. He said, "What me and the man them listen on the whip," and that's crazy because I kind of feel about that. about the album. So, but enough about the story of the album. Let's dig into the album. I'm going to play like a little bit of each track and some parts that I think make sense to show according to what I'm saying. So yeah, let's start with track one, Konnichiwa. The album starts by kind of like placing us in Japan with this sound of a gong, water, a flute, the samurai sword, birds. Makes you really feel that you're there. Then this woman starts singing about looking for me, Konnichiwa, which stands for looking for me, hello. And and then Skepta starts like giving other sounds to this and brings a siren in, like some glasses is being broken, steps like we get away from Japan and we step into London in a sense. And yeah, then Skepta starts talking about the some stuff that is going on in the UK. The first line of the album, as you guys may have heard, is by now you should know I hate waiting. I got no patience. And then he says, getting out of the matrix, far from the agents, away from the devil and the pagans. And the only time man is going to see me is if I share location. By other words, he wants to say, I've been away doing my stuff, doing my shit. And as you know, I don't have patience to wait on anyone. So here it is. Here's my new compilation. He's talking to his haters and the UK in general, in a sense. He even talks about going to the Brit Awards by train. And yeah, the introduction is all about setting the tone, you know, how things are going on. He talks about the Wizkid collab, the guy from Nigeria that they did. Drake and Skepta got together to do this remix for Wizkid single, and they didn't even know that the song would get that big. And like FIFA in November, like when FIFA gets like the game FIFA when it comes out, the rush is so big that in November, like the same way that the song went through. Anyway, then he addresses himself to the president, which I don't understand, and to the prime minister. To the president, he says, I ain't forgot, and to the prime minister, I still remember, and say that they're lie. Yeah, I don't understand. Then he shows that he has been for 10 years on the road on this. He's a permanent mark that nobody can smudge him. He addressed Luki again, and how important that moment was for his life. Not maybe important is not the right word, but the sense of like how relevant that moment was and how deep that moment was for him, because you realize that everything was not about the cars and the money, it was more about the movement that was going on and about leaving a footstep on this culture. For me, it was a great introduction for the album and one of my favorite tracks on it. Then on track 2, called Lyrics, with Novelist, it starts with this sound from a Clash. I can understand this is Jammer from BBK, but I don't know who's this. And he says, yeah, Wagwan, hi mom. Yeah, he says lyrics for lyrics, the same thing that MC on that Clash said. Yeah, this track has a dope beat, as you guys can understand. Oh, some dope bars, great energy on this track. He talks about the Lord of the Mics, the Blood on Devilman shirt, because that was the person that he clashed against at the time. He addresses old issues that happened and how he murked, because that's the word to like murder in the Clash sense. Everybody, you murked everybody. Novelist also stepped really good on this track. So you guys understand, Novelist is really young. He has been working with Skepta since he was like 18. He's now 20. Last year he performed with Skepta at the Shutdown in New York, and at the time he was 19. This was a great opportunity for him to deliver. on KONNICHIWA, and he did. Um, yeah, he really did. This was for me a great track, great grime track. Also, I think that it's great that Skepta didn't do what the regular artist would be, placing like the hit single like as number two track or number three. No, you build it up, and you're gonna see if you keep listening to the album. Then on track three, Corn on the Curb with Wiley, it starts with this great intro.
Day, but we gotta stay back. Gotta stay fighting, gotta stay striving. Gotta stay dreaming, gotta stay believing, gotta stay scheming.
Yeah, pretty motivational and stuff. Then the beat steps in. He talks about girls that want to call him Junior when only his mom calls him Junior, which is a pretty dope bar. He talks about the fact that those girls come up to him about Rolex timepiece, which was his first main hit, like his main like mainstream hit. He even says that he flew his G's to Amsterdam like for no particular reason. But the main bar that like everybody talks about in regards to this track is I don't care about VIP, I got very important places to be, which is pretty dope. And that represents a lot about Skepta and now like is different in a sense. Then Wiley steps in with his chorus where he says MCs, and it's pretty cool too. And you can even understand this is a recent track because he says, yeah, this is Wiley's chorus. MCs. 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 But yeah. Then because I can say this is a recent track because Skepta talks about taking his brethren on his birthday to the stage with Drake and Section. That happened like a month ago, April or something, where Drake after the Mobile Awards or Brit Awards, some awards, I think it was probably the Brit. He went to this Section Boys show and showed up there. But yeah, then even says that he hates men like a nun, and then he loses himself on the bars, like on a freestyle type of vibe, like this, like he was doing a freestyle on this track, and the beat keeps rolling while we start listening to a call signal, like someone is calling someone, and in which is Skepta calling Chipmunk. And they talk about the Devilman this, the pressure that Skepta is bearing now, and how Sheep think that Skepta is kind of a prophet in a sense that got the call to go do bigger things, as he says, and make everyone all over the world get to understand what else is going on around the UK, and that's kind of how the call goes. You guys can go check it, of course. He says he got a deeper calling in a sense. Not everyone's phone get that type of ring there. He says, which is funny. And then they use like this expression that is used in the UK a lot, like superpowers, fam, supercharged. And then like it's in a sense it's like about Skepta being himself and about the country going crazy about what he's doing and the fact that he's independent. It was pretty legit to like set the tone and explain a little bit about what's going on in the UK in terms of like disease and stuff, and explain a little bit too about how Skepta is feeling about this pressure. Cool track. Was a cool track. Track 4, Crime Redeem. It's a pretty cool track. It's one of my favorite type of tracks when it comes to albums. This is the perfect type of storytelling in a sense. I really like to listen to this type of stories and stuff, so I'm kind of like biased on this track. This really makes me resemble Cartel on the album that he did with The Genius, on the song Court Case. But in this case, Skepta talks about a night out at the club that like he's just partying, like some friend called him while he was in the hotel, and he goes out and there's one guy that is always coming against him, like stepping on his toes and knocks his drink twice, but he was cool about it anyways. He was trying to like get away with that. But even so, on the chorus, he always talks about the cops and the cops want to lock him and stuff. Then this guy keeps jumping around, and Skepta pulls him and says, "Yo, you spilled my Hennessy twice and stuff." And the guy talks loud to Skepta, and Skepta even says, flexing like he had something on his waist, like he pretending that he had a gun or something. So Skepta doesn't even wait and like pushes the guys go to the side and just punches the guy straight in the face. And then he even plays around with Made Him Money Dance and Rock Away, which are two dances here in the US that kind of like that makes you imagine how the guy like kind of like felt on the ground. And then Skepta said that he should have left, but the guy flew, so he had no reason to be there after a fight. Anyways, he stayed, and then some girls showed up that a friend of him brought, and then the cops out of the blue came and locked him, took him to the station. He had to be in the cell with another 4 guys. Had to watch one of them take a shit and take a load, and then he says that he would get on his knees to get out of this mess if he gets to the court. Then like this strip searching skit starts, and I don't really understand the joke because I can't understand what Skepta is saying after about being strip search making him something lift. I don't know. Then he talks about this conversation with the magistrate and begging for his life and stuff. Then there's this recording of a conversation between this American dude that I assume that is American because he sounds like with an American accent, and the other guy sounds from the UK saying like that they're gonna kill each other, and they like you would shoot a bazooka on him, and the London guy says like says to the American guy to the American guy share his location. Even says big man thing, I'll come to your yard, and it's crazy. And like and he starts saying like he's a gamer, and I don't know, and then it ends, and I don't know, I don't really know too much about this call. If anybody knows about it, please comment here and explain me, because I don't know anything. But yeah, it was a pretty legit track. I like the storytelling part a lot. Then the first anthem of Konnichiwa, It Ain't Safe, feat Young Lord from ASAP Mob. This track is awesome. From what I know about the story about the track, like Young Lord wasn't really fitting the thing, but Skepta made it happen, and his producer, this not even for the cops, not even for the cops. This happened in New York out of the blue, Skepta says. And this track has one of like the craziest bars ever. Like this was the bar of the year for sure when the song came out. Listen. Listen now. But yeah, Skepta got a lot of reloads, as they say, because of that bar. Reloads or pull-ups or like you just play the song from top. That's what it is. It comes from the from the sound system culture. But yeah, this song is so fire. Like and the end when Young Lord starts singing like ducking from Michori, yeah, and it's pretty dope song. I really like it. It has some crazy bars. The video is dope too, like the all around London with the street vibes of the ends, as they say. It's pretty dope, pretty great song. Go listen to it. Let me stop here. As I said, I'm not gonna extend each episode for more than 30 minutes, and since we are approaching the 30-minute mark, I'm gonna stop here. This is gonna be part 1 of this episode, and tomorrow I'll drop part 2 of the review of Konnichiwa and this conversation about Skepta. Don't forget to follow me on SoundCloud. Follow the Good Facts on SoundCloud. Check me on Instagram. Check me on Twitter. And get ready for tomorrow. Peace, love, unity, and respect. I'm out!